Hey everyone, so welcome back to the channel, Dratlo44 here. I hope you're having a great night, evening or day so far. So basically just going to be covering a video about sort of a diamond tournament and things like that. Now before I do get into it, of course, just want to say that 250 subscribers, I am at 208 so far, so actually I'm only 42 away. It's actually so close. It's kind of crazy. But what I'm going to do is that once I reach 250, I will be doing a random number generator, and of course then I'll be picking one of you lucky winners and giving this to you completely for free. I do think it's a lovely looking decal. Like I've said before, I think it's amazing in the sort of design. I love that you can recolor it to kind of structure around the kind of car that you like to use. So it's not just like, oh, you can only use it with blue. You can use pretty much any color, and you can use it either on the orange preset or the blue preset, so you can sort of have different coloring options. And it's got a striker on it, so really good in that sense if you do use it. But you've got the choice to keep it or sell it, or whatever you decide to do. It'll be entirely up to you. Now you do need to, of course, be subscribed, have notifications on. Please leave a like on the video, because again it really helps this grow and just gets more people kind of noticing it, and the more people who notice the content, then the faster I kind of grow into, you know, get into the 250. And leave a comment with your ID on it if you haven't already before. Right, with that said, let's get into the content of the video. So me and my friends finally got into a diamond tournament. Now I know that for probably quite a few of you that probably isn't much, and you're already there, or you're sort of like low diamond, high diamond, grand champ, I don't know, and you know, and you probably won't think it's much of a big deal, but bearing in mind that for me and my friends, you know, we've never got actually to a diamond tournament, and the reason being is because perhaps we've been a bit unlucky. We haven't really played maybe as much ranked consistently, and just haven't really got up to a kind of a point where we can get into that cup. This game was a good example of it. Now I have to say that this game was one of those games where it was very defensive. Because of the diamond players, I thought that Plat would play like very defensive, and diamond players would play more aggressively. Actually, they didn't so much, and you know, they kind of held back and tried to defend. Luckily, JHD the Duke, lovely flick from KY Rich, scores a nice goal, and we're in the lead, so it was really good in that sense. But this was a very tough game, and I've played a couple of diamond tournaments since this video, to be fair. One was kind of like an example that I will keep, and I will show you just because it's quite interesting to sort of see the comparisons. But with this one, I had a guy trying to blow me up. He failed horribly, but he was a bit of a moron, if I'm honest, and as you can sort of see, he's one of those ones trying to make it as difficult as possible to actually defend, and people don't like it. People don't like it when there's one goalkeeper or one person sitting back purely defending. But the thing is that, you know, I'm not being funny, but you know, I've found it's worked. We found that it's been successful. You know, our platinum sort of 3 or season 3 platinum tournament win was based on 1 being a goalkeeper and 2 being able to attack. And there were many times when we would have had a goal scored against us, you know, they'd have been leading, if we didn't have someone to block that ball. Now I can't block every ball, and I'm not the greatest goalkeeper, unfortunately, but you know, I can make some good blocks, make some good decisions, and when I'm sort of doing that, then of course I can be useful and beneficial to the team, and it allows the other two to, of course, attack and do what they need to. Now, as you can sort of see, you know, I am being a little aggressive on it. I'm just trying to keep it and make sure that my decisions are right, because, you know, if you are being a goalkeeper, it can be a little bit difficult, just because it's so easy to lose a bit of focus and kind of switch off for a minute, and, you know, switching off for a minute, unfortunately, leads to just one error. And instead of leading, suddenly, you know, you're 2 or 3-1 down, and it can be so frustrating, because it's just one of those things that just, you know, it's so easy. Now, as you can see, I mean, like that particular here, it wasn't much of a save, really. We got kind of lucky with that one because I couldn't get back. So, again, the good thing about my friends is that they love defending and stuff. You know, and it's kind of like one of those things where this is interesting because there is a point to this. So, basically, with this particular match, you know, we actually did manage to win a couple of tournaments into it, managed to actually get up to the top 8. So what this means is that, of course, I've got access to the All-Stars Cup. Now, what I've been doing, recently has been opening prospects. I'm very happy that we got top 8, and of course I can now access All-Stars. So what I wanted to ask you guys is, of course, because I've done the recent tournament videos with the sort of like opening the prospects, do you want me to continue opening prospects, or are you not bothered? What I was kind of thinking myself, if I'm honest, is just sort of mixing the two. So using what I can to open All-Stars, because naturally I should get better stuff in theory, but what I wanted to sort of ask you guys is that doing that and then opening the prospects with the odd amounts, and I think that is kind of a really good way. It's maybe the tournaments might have to be, or tournament openings might have to be like every 2 weeks to kind of get a better video out of it. But what do you guys think? Do you want it to continue with just prospects? Or does a mix of All-Stars and prospects sound good? Because I think that would be a good video to make. Especially if I'm delaying it maybe and just doing different content instead, then it means that just like maybe every 2 weeks it'll be a mixture of prospects and All-Stars to kind of show what you can win from them. But I do like your opinion. I do like to hear your views, because at the end of the day, you guys enjoy the content, or at least hopefully you do. So obviously want to make it enjoyable enough to sort of be of a benefit. So let me know in the comments below if you do get a chance. That would be really, really appreciated. I'd love to sort of hear that, just to kind of get a bit of an overlook and sort of decide what to kind of do. And like anything, I just sort of feel that it is a good option, but it is so nice. I can't begin to tell you how nice it is to finally have the All-Stars. I never had it in Season 1 or Season 2, so fortunately it's just nice just to have that and have a chance of winning a good painted item. I think that is probably where it's at. The exotics this time are pretty good. The imports are okay. There's even the sort of like the very rare shark attack trail, not bad. So there's a few good options in regards to that, and I think that is a really, really nice thing. And like anything, let's just sort of see what we can get. It's a long season, so got a bit of time, but you never know. It's pretty intense. Anyway, this tournament, as you can sort of see, is pretty intense, quite mental. But anyway, before I continue, what I'm going to do is talk about, of course, the Pyros inverted wheels. So I'm going to be giving a pair away to one of you lucky winners. So far there are 2 people in contention. That would be Little League and sort of like Bluxy. Basically you 2 are drawing on 5, and then no one else is really in contention because no one else is kind of offering or bothering to answer the questions, to be truthful. But hey, you never know. It runs until the 4th of May, so maybe there will be more people taking part, but if not, one of you 2 will be the winner. So basically at the moment then, what I'm going to do is ask a question. I haven't done that over the last couple of videos purely because I wanted to break it up a little bit, but basically all that happens is that with this, if you answer a question, you get a point. So the question is that in yesterday's video, I showcased a lot of items that I was going to sell for profit. Can you name all of those items? If you can name all of those items, write it in a comment on any video that isn't the more recent ones, and then that way I can check it and of course make absolutely sure that the point is tallied up for you. So good luck to all of you for that. For anyone new coming in, check out the videos up from the sort of Plat tournament about a week and a half ago. There's video questions in pretty much all of those. You do need to be subscribed. All you do is you answer the question, you get a point for each one, and of course you write it on a comment on one of my videos that isn't like more recent ones, and then I kind of tally up the points up. It runs up until the 4th of May, so it's got a little while left, about 10 days or something like that. But good luck to all of you taking part, and thank you for anyone who is watching this far. I really do appreciate it. It's absolutely amazing. Right, well anyway, going back to the tournament. So yeah, we went into overtime. It'd been quite a tight affair. Couple of clutch saves, a couple of opportunities missed on their side. We were quite fortunate really. There was a definite one that they nearly scored a goal, and they should have probably. Luckily KY Rich and JHD the Jig were back to defend and help me, so between the 3 of us we managed to clear it, but it was a bit squeaky, I'm not gonna lie. So it's been a pretty intense tournament, and Diamond tournaments are quite intense. I definitely would say that the lower diamonds are very like plat, but the high level diamonds are very, very sweaty, and it's kind of borderline ridiculous. You know, it's kind of quite pressured, quite stressful. And to get to as far as the top 16, you know, I think we can get further. I do feel like we could get to a semi or a final, to be honest. I think that is just maybe just a good run, us all playing well and consistent, and I think that is where maybe the difference is. And you know, and me sitting back in goal, I mean, obviously I can only do so much, but I try my very hardest to you know, make sure that I'm defending. As you can sort of see, that one was probably one of the most scary. I thought if I mess this up and it goes in, we're out. That's a nightmare. And you know, and I really kind of have to just maintain my focus. But I think that was about the last sort of thing I had to do, if I recall. So it wasn't too bad, but it is kind of stressful. Definitely, you know, these tournaments take a lot out of you. They're very pressured. They're very good though. I mean, this is the thing. So basically, with a sort of plat tournament, you get about 5,500 when you kind of like, you know, get past the first round, and you haven't had like a higher weekly placement or all three weekly placements, so to speak. And that is absolutely fine if you're in a plat tourney. It's not bad. However, if you then get to diamond or anything like that, basically then it really comes into a sort of like a different level, and you get a lot more. And it's kind of the same. I mean, apparently Grand Champ you get 20,000, which is crazy for just purely getting past the first round, let alone completing the tournament. Well, in this one, if you get past the first round, you basically get 9,600, which is I think pretty good, especially when you reach top 8. It means that, you know, you're going to be guaranteed at least one all-star, maybe two almost, for the sort of weekly placements. So, you know, unless you get really unlucky and you just get kind of absolute, you know, rubbish, then you've got quite a good chance of getting something half decent. And I think it's about the best chance I've got of getting maybe like a decent black market that isn't just through trade-ups, because that last season did me in. I traded up all my stuff and I got a Nurgle. I mean, Nurgle's okay, you know, I'll take it, but I would have rather have painted Haze Bomb if I'm being truthful. And, you know, I suppose like anything, you just sort of feel like, okay, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it was a little bit disappointing. But that's just the way it is. And you can sort of see, I mean, like with the extra time, these tournaments, they take a lot out of you. I don't know how many of you play tournaments. Do let me know, actually. Like, do you guys play tournaments? Do you kind of take part? Or do you find also it's a struggle because, you know, you are stuck playing with randoms? I do understand it completely. Playing with randoms is probably one of the worst feelings I think ever known to man. It's absolutely horrific. And I really do kind of hate that. It's just so unfortunate. But you know, I mean, like obviously all you can do is kind of get on with it and try your best as you can, and just, you know, maybe if you do see someone who is quite a good player, you know, try and maybe make friends with them and team up with them or something like that. Because, but then again, you know, also as well, I mean, like if there is a few of you are playing on the platforms, then maybe, you know, you guys can join together and actually do a tournament yourselves. So, you know, that is another option as well. Luckily, we did clutch out the tournament. It was absolutely tight, very clutch. But, you know, I mean, like we managed to get around it. So, of course, now what it'll do is it'll show you the credits one. Like I said, 9,600. We got into a top 8, which felt amazing. So, you know, we did manage to kind of get quite an amount of credits. And, yeah, it felt pretty good in that regard. And we got the All-Stars Cup unlocked as well, which was really satisfying. Of course, you know, 20,200 credits. That means I can open a challenges and some prospects, but then at the end of the weekly placements, I would imagine I would have a bit more. So there is a couple of options, but let us know. I'd be really intrigued to sort of hear your thoughts on that. Do you kind of want, you know, sort of like a mix, just prospects or all-stars? I think all-stars, I think I should at least do one all-stars, but anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that one. But otherwise, that is it for today's video, so thank you very much, of course, for watching and sort of like actually viewing it. I hope you enjoyed the content. I know it's some gameplay. I do have other things planned. I mean, obviously, do check out my trading video as well, because it's a trading challenge that I've sort of set myself in regards to making profit. Market is a bit funny at the moment, if I'm honest, so, you know, like, again, I do kind of want to see what you guys think, and it might actually be pretty tough, just simply because, unfortunately, you know, like anything, it is a bit of a difficult market at the moment, but, you know, that is exactly that, and kind of it's one of those things that we will see what exactly happens. So, I mean, in regards to everything else, pretty much that is it from me today. So thank you very much for sort of like watching. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you want to drop a subscribe, then of course help me towards 250. That would be amazing. And that is otherwise it. So thank you very, very much. So all I would say is that I hope you have a great rest of the day, evening, or night. If you do, of course, have anything else to let me know about, or any other video ideas, drop it in the comments below. But otherwise, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.